I've known this lady. You know, it's amazing. I've known her for longer than she has owned. It's
Thank you.
All right, we're ready to get started. If everyone would please stand for the presentation of colors by the Virginia State Parks Honor Guard, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. On behalf of the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation, good afternoon and welcome to Clinch River State Park. This afternoon, we are excited to share information on Virginia's first blueway state park. The initiative to bring a state park to the Clinch River Valley began over 15 years ago through the commitment and dedication of many individuals. Many of those are here today. The initiative is becoming a reality as we dedicate Virginia's 41st state park today. At this time, I'd like to welcome District 1 Delegate Terry Kilgore.
Thank you. It's, I finally got to hear those words, Clinch River State Park, so that's great. That's great news for this area. And I just want to thank all the community folks that really had a hand in this. I see Frank Kilgore over there and others, and it's just been a long journey. Over 10 years that we've been working on this, but it's a great day, and I'm just so thankful that Governor Northam is down today to help us open this park, and we're going to do a lot of great things here at this state park. But I'm great to have with me today Senator Travis Hackworth, our newest senator. And from the House of Delegates, Will Wampler, and great to have you, Will. And, you know, this park, I can say, would not be here today were it not for the hard work of Ben Chafin. Ben's... you know, Ben passed away, but, you know, I couldn't tell y'all how many times he was in my office saying, now, Terry, we got to get this money for this park. And we'd figure out how to do it, and he and then Delegate Pillion would be in there, and we were talking about how to get more money for the Clinch River State Park, because we knew how important this was. And Governor, I think we even came over to your place and talked to you 2 or 3 times about funding for the Clinch River State Park. But you know, this is going to be, I think, one of the best parks that we have in the Commonwealth. Just look at this view, Governor. I don't think you can find this view out on the Eastern Shore anywhere. You know, I just don't think you could do that. This is such a beautiful scenery here in Southwest Virginia. But I just want to thank all of you all the elected officials that you know, stepped up and told us this was a great idea, that kept pushing for this day and for this day to happen. And I'm going to go ahead and thank Travis and Will for support for upcoming funding initiatives it's going to take to fund this park, because we got to fund it. So we're going to be doing that and working together as Southwest Virginia. So it's great to be here, and now it's my pleasure to introduce the individual who has the best job in state government. She runs the parks. Come on up, Park Melissa Baker, and thank you for your hard work here.
Thank you, Delegate Kilgore. I do have the best job in state government. As you can see, this is my office, so I'm very thankful and grateful that this is being added to the state parks office, if you will. One of the things I'm most grateful for is the opportunity I've had to work in state parks. In modern society, there's precious little time in our life where we truly have the ability to choose what we get to do. That ability to freely choose how to spend your time is the definition of leisure, and it's one of the most precious commodities that people have. As park professionals, we have the unique privilege to serve people in their times of leisure. What we do allows people to escape the pressures of the day, engage in healthy physical activity, learn about nature and history, and form bonds with family, friends, and community. In short, we get to facilitate those things that are the best part of the human experience. And now, as Director of Virginia State Parks, on the week of our 85th anniversary, I have the great honor to be part of the opening of the Clinch River State Park. This park could not exist without the landowners who shared our vision and the efforts and partnership of the communities along the river. Your partnership with the dedicated staff of Virginia State Parks have brought us here today, and because of your vision, visitors from all over will come to hike, fish, and float the river, and in doing so, will also visit the local communities and will come to realize what makes this region so special. As we engage in the master planning process for the Clinch River State Park, I hope that you will all be engaged once again in developing the vision for what this park will be in the future. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce the Department of Conservation and Recreation Director, Clyde Chrisman.
Thank you, Dr. Baker, and thank you all for turning out here on this beautiful day today. I see so many familiar faces out there that I hope to get a chance to say hi personally to all of you afterwards. We're done here. But Governor, thank you for joining us here in this beautiful spot on this beautiful day. And I want to take Ben Chafin has been mentioned, but I'm going to mention him again because I feel like Senator Hackworth just said to me, I feel like Ben is here with us today, because this wouldn't have happened without his efforts and with all the efforts of our friends in the General Assembly. So, so I'm sure Ben is out there looking down upon all of this with all of this glory. And you know, the neat thing about this park, you know, usually when we're looking to establish a new state park, we usually think, okay, let's go find a nice, huge, big piece of property that can support all the different activities. Well, as Delegate Kilgore mentioned, 15 years ago, I think the original idea was hatched of having multiple places along the Clinch River to be able to maximize the use of this incredibly beautiful blueway here. And I will tell you that also made our job a little bit more challenging. Because of the fact that rather than having to go look at one major piece of property and negotiate with one or two major landowners, we found ourselves having to work with numerous properties and numerous landowners. And I do want to recognize, first of all the DCR staff that are here in khaki and gray today. Thank you all for all you do every day. And where's Dave Collette and Sharon Ewing? Sharon's in the back there. Dave's back there. They're both trying to hide back there, but I'm not going to let them hide because they were part of they were our ears and our eyes and ears on the grounds out here, working with the community, working with the landowners, working with our partner, the Nature Conservancy, to help to identify potential properties, and then working with, as you all know, DCR will only work with willing landowners in establishing a new state park. So as it mentioned, the Sugar Hill unit here consisting of about 462 acres. Frank Kilgore, the 270 acres was originally the original portion of this, and then adding the Kennedy and the Hill tracts to make this beautiful mass of land that you see here and right next to St. Paul. It's so amazing to be so close to St. Paul and yet to have this kind of a view shed. And then the R-Trip Bent unit consisting of 234 acres and the Owens tract consisting of 232 acres. So we're sort of joining together. We've got Wise County, we've got Russell County. I guess the Clinch actually starts in Tazewell and keeps on going south all the way into Tennessee. And so hopefully we can continue to string together additional opportunities. And Governor, as we were talking, thinking about, and as was mentioned, one of our next things is to open up the master plan and to get the local input from folks as to what, this is your park. And so we want this park to be what you want it to be. And so we will entertain all of the other opportunities that we love to have in state parks, such as trails for horses, such as campgrounds and cabins and all of the other opportunities. And most importantly, being able to have as many points of access along the Clinch River, with the idea that, I'll steal Dave, I'll steal what you said earlier. Our goal is you can come and spend 2 hours on the river or 2 days on the river and have just as much fun and be able to get from one spot to another where you can put in and take out safely. Before I close, I just want to just add another thought and build on what I know something that's very important to Secretary Strickler. The Clinch River has got one of the highest levels of biodiversity anywhere, not just in Virginia, not just in the East Coast, but in the Northern Hemisphere. And so that's something that's absolutely amazing and important to us. And as we go through the master planning process, the first thing we do is we evaluate those natural resources so that we make sure that we're doing our best to protect the vital and most important natural habitat that's out here. So with that, you know, it's funny, Melissa thinks she has the best job in state government. I'm here to tell you, I have the best job in state government, but now I'm going to introduce the guy that probably does have the best job in state government, and that's the Honorable Matthew J. Strickler, our Secretary of Natural Resources.
Thanks, Clyde, for that introduction, and good afternoon, everybody. It's so great to see such a nice crowd here today. On my trip out here over the last 2.5 days, I've had the opportunity to visit 7 of our state parks. This is the 7th, and in talking to all of the managers, it comes down to two things that really make our state park system click. One is obviously the state support and working with our members of the General Assembly delegation and Clyde's team at DCR. We certainly have state support for the state parks. But the other is community support. Without the friends groups, without the buy-in of the local communities, without the volunteer hours, we don't have a state park system. We don't have the best state park system in the United States like we have in Virginia. And so that's why it's so great for me to see this outpouring of support today for this park, which we know has been a long time coming. But it's great to see it finally come to fruition. I know Frank Kilgore, I'll acknowledge you again. It's good to see you. I know you've been mentioned before, but your work and generosity and ability to work with Clyde and his team to get this off the ground has been huge. The Nature Conservancy, I see Locke Ogan's here with us today, our Virginia State Director, so thank you for you and your team's work. And obviously I mentioned all the DCR staff. Dr. Baker, great to see you, and really look forward to seeing what you and your team do with this park. Just quickly, as Clyde alluded to, in addition to being a world-class outdoor recreation asset, the Clinch River is really world-renowned as a biodiversity hotspot, and it's something that's helping us build our understanding in Virginia of the economic importance of nature, and I think the Clinch is going to help, the state park here is going to help elevate all of those values, and it'll kind of continue to capture the really impressive range of landscapes and waterscapes that Virginia has, all the way from here to the Eastern Shore. It's really a kind of a mind-blowing level of geographic and biological diversity. So just really excited to add this to the state parks, and I do believe that it's going to be one of the real gems of the system. But my job here today is not to drone on about that. It's to introduce our featured speaker. So without further delay, I'll give you one of the biggest champions of Virginia state parks and Virginia's environment, the 73rd Governor of Virginia, His Excellency Ralph Northam.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all, please be seated. Thank you so much. I thought that Secretary Strickler was going to kind of go in line and say the man that really has the best job in the state of Virginia, but I was going to say, no, we don't want to go there right now. But wow, what a beautiful day it is, and it is great to be here for the, believe it or not, the opening of our 41st state park, and what tremendous assets these are to Virginia for a number of reasons. When I came up here, my friend Delegate Kilgore, and we go back a little ways, and I don't know if you all knew this about him, but he has quite a sense of humor. And to say that on the Eastern Shore, which is where I hail from, that I'll never see a view like this, and I said, I agree with you. Probably the best way I have of seeing a view like this is getting a book out and looking at a picture. But what a beautiful setting this is. And we all think we come from God's country, but this is truly God's country out here. It doesn't get any better than this. So I just, for all of you that are here today to be part of this announcement, I say thank you. I think it's already been said that these things don't happen in a vacuum, and certainly for me to come here is exciting, but there are a whole lot of people for a number of years that work very hard to make this happen. And to all of you, on behalf of the Commonwealth of Virginia, I say thank you so much. I have been out here, believe it or not, twice in the last month to the breaks. Once was to come out and play, which we achieved, and got on some trails and went on the spearhead trails. They tried to see how muddy they could get me, Travis, and did a pretty good job of that. And then we came out here for a broadband announcement. And as Matt Strickler has said, and Chris and Clyde, rather, to get around and see all these beautiful parks is a fun part of our job. And so I did want to take, I know folks have been thanked, but I did want to take the opportunity to thank Delegate Kilgore again for all of your work. Again, I know you've been at this for a while, so really appreciate that. I know Senator Pillion was going to be here, but
coming from a medical background, he's probably working on children's teeth as we speak. I suspect he'd rather be out here, but I know he's been very involved in this. And Senator Hackworth, it's a pleasure to have you here today. And we need to dress you down a little bit, but that's all right. So we kind of go around casual, especially when we get out in rural Virginia. But we really appreciate your stepping up to the plate and being the senator, and look forward to working with you. And then Will Wampler, thank you so much. How's your dog? Is he doing all right?
He's doing all right.
Yeah, he and I share Labradors. So, but this is truly, again, as I said, a team effort, and we've all been in this together. And I know he's been mentioned, but I'm going to, again, take the opportunity. I was very good friends with Ben Chafin, and when he and Terry Kilgore and Will and Todd and folks would come into the office, it's just, we're all from rural Virginia, and while where I come from is flat as a pancake, a lot more water where I come from, but we had a bond, and that was to take care of rural Virginia, and we miss Ben, and appreciate all the work that he did on this project as well. Clyde, it's always good to see you. Director Baker, thank you, and Matt. I think you all, when I came up to the park this a little while ago, Secretary Strickler, Matt, to me, said he'd been out on the river in a canoe or kayak. I'm not sure what he was in, but I said, why weren't you at your office today? And he said, I was at my office. So that's good. But I'm especially excited to be here today with all of you to open the park. And Clinch River State Park is perhaps the perfect model, as was said, for a state park in our Commonwealth. And it will help protect and provide access to one of Virginia's most beautiful and ecologically diverse places. The Nature Conservancy called this region one of the last great places. And it's certainly a place that we want to protect, not just for us, but for future generations. The park will continue to encourage economic growth by helping make Southwest Virginia a world-class outdoor recreation destination. And it is the first park, as Clyde said, of its kind that we have in Virginia, a park based around a river instead of around land. It's made up of larger anchor properties, as you all know, connected by multiple smaller size access points along the river running through Tazewell, Russell, Wise, and Scott County. Now, I want to digress just for a second, and I'm not going to trespass on too much of your time, but as you all know, I come from Accomack County, way over on the other side of the state. And there have been two governors, as a matter of fact, that came from Accomack County. The first was Henry Wise. It's interesting. Henry Wise got along very well with people in the Southwest. Thus, the county of Wise is named after Henry Wise. He was a governor pre-Civil War, so it was many years ago. Now, we have a very beautiful state park on the eastern shore called Kiptopeke. And Delegate Kilgore was so much respected on the eastern shore, we were going to name the park Camp Kilgore. But for some reason, they went to the K's, but they got a wrong K, Terry. So it's Kiptopeke instead of Kilgore. But I've got 6 months left, so I'm going to try to change the name for you. And by the way, I need to get you over to our eastern shore. But anyway, back to what I'm here for. Some of the access points will be part of the state park, while other partner agencies and localities will own additional launch access points. Getting all of those access points lined up to create this park required a lot of hard work. And the cooperation of private landowners, Frank, it's great to see you here today, nonprofit organizations that have been recognized, state and local government. I want to thank all of those groups and the people who tirelessly have advocated, as I said earlier, for years to make this park a reality. In addition to the natural beauty that surrounds us today, rare and endangered species thrive in this region, as Secretary Strickler said. The Clinch River's ecosystem is one of the most productive of any river in America. It sustains more than 48 vulnerable animal species, including 29 varieties of rare freshwater mussels and 19 species of fish. Rare plants, mammals, and birds also thrive along the river's edge. Development of the Clinch River State Park will significantly raise awareness of this important ecological diversity. I hope the Clinch River State Park will help protect this ecosystem while increasing and encouraging public use and enjoyment of this very, very special place. And through that engagement, we will continue to revitalize the region as a hub for tourism and outdoor recreation. With nearby attractions like the Spearhead Trail and the Elk in Buchanan County, or hiking and ziplining in the Breaks in Dickinson County, visitors can come to Southwest Virginia for complete outdoor experiences. And I want to emphasize, it is a lot about the economy, and it's a lot about bringing tourists to the Southwest. And for those of you that may not have appreciated this, tourism in Virginia is our second leading industry. Our first is agriculture, second is tourism, and the third is forestry. And so all of these are very important, but if you ever look at surveys of what happens when tourists come to areas like this, to parks like this, they bring their RVs, they bring their trucks, they need to eat in restaurants, they need to get supplies. Sometimes things break down, so they need to get them fixed. So all of these things just add millions and millions of dollars to our economy, so they are very important. The Virginia Office of Outdoor Recreation is partnering with Virginia's tourism, economic development, and wildlife agencies to promote these attractions as we continue to expand opportunities in this region. As we know, outdoor recreation opportunities not only provide a great quality of life and serve to attract tourists, they also help us market Virginia as the best state for business by allowing employers to help attract a skilled workforce which prioritizes these amenities. And I will remind people that, yes, Virginia is the #1 state in this great country of ours in which to do business, and that did not happen in a vacuum. And so, as I said before, Clinch River State Park is a result of tireless work from so many people. I mentioned some of the key members of the General Assembly earlier. I also want to recognize a few other people. Lou Ann Wallace, thank you so much for all of your work. Frank, you've gotten a lot of publicity here today, but thank you again for all that you've done. Brad Krebs, the Clinch River Valley Initiative and the Nature Conservancy. And thank you to many others that I probably can never thank who have worked to protect this region and advocate for a park for so many years. So as you can see, and I will say it one more time, this is what happens when we all work together. We are able to accomplish amazing things. So I am very excited to see the park fully opened. I'm ready to pull my fifth wheel, which I don't own yet, up here, and how it will really play a role in the continued growth of this region. So if I could have our delegates and senators and Scott Bowen, I just have a quick presentation before we move forward with the river cutting. So please join me up here. So I always like to leave just a token of our appreciation. I called Delegate Kilgore, and he said to bring wine, but I said no. I said we got that for another day. So what I do like to do, Terry, I hope you don't mind me. I know there's a couple cameras here, but it'll be all right. It's all good. But anyway, this is a Virginia flag that we have proudly flown over our state's capital, and I hope you all can find to proudly display this. So I wanted all of you in the Southwest to have this, and we look forward, Terry, to coming out here and visiting you often. So thanks for all your great work, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Governor, thank you for that. And we have a little gift for you on behalf of Department of Conservation and Recreation and Virginia State Parks and our state park staff. We would like to present you with this hiking stick. As you see, it has Virginia inscribed on it, and we also have some medallions of the Seal of Virginia and also Virginia State Parks.
That's wonderful.
We hope you have many happy adventures in state parks hiking, that you
very
can
kind.
add the state park medallions of your choice to it, and that you and the First Lady and Virginia Pearl
Yes,
get
thank
much
you.
use out of this.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. I'll look forward to using this on the hiking trails, and might even take it back to Richmond and pull it out every now and then when our legislators come visit. But thank you again so much for being here. You all have so much to be proud of, and keep up the great work. We're all in this together, so thank you very much.
So, Governor.
I'd like to invite all of the landowners, Miss Owens, Frank, Papa Kennedy, if I'm missing anybody, but to come and help hold the ribbon for the ribbon cutting.
Hey, how are you?